team on the field. It's an experienced committee.
Yep.
And they seem to be, I mean, outside of probably Warrandyte Forest Hill, who are the quality sides on the field, but these are the next generation of those, super clubs that are starting to slowly try and build, if that's the way it's going to go.
Yeah, it seemed to exude a really good, feel-good vibe about how the club is going at the moment and the direction that they're wanting to take. There's a lot of confidence that, with a bit of consistency in the playing list and, with a few more sponsors on board, things can really work out for them. So I like the direction that they're taking. It seems like they've got a clear path or frame of mind in set, and with that can only breed good things. So I really look forward to seeing how they go, not only today, but for the long term as well, because I almost think that, it's almost a case of from little things, big things grow, and it could be what the Glen Waverley Hawks are all about.
And I think there'd be like the next, next two powerhouse in Division 4, Kilsyth and Glen Waverley. I do think they've gone through that little patch, like similar to Warrandyte and Forest Hill, and now they're going to be the next two teams who's going to really dominate this Division 4 and hopefully push their way into Division 3.
Both have their opportunity to do so this afternoon, and Kilsyth in particular. We might take a break because we've gone well and truly over time from our first break of the afternoon, and we'll come back to talk about the few last games in Division 4, including the massive clash between the Cougars and the Hawks. It's EFL Game Day here, thanks to Pancake Parlour.
It's difficult to see through a dirty window, but once you clean it, you can clearly see the view. Tobin Brothers Funerals is just like a clean window. Its easy-to-use website and Memory Maker app are so transparent you don't webs to find the info for you to see and make an informed decision when planning a loved one's funeral. Download Tobin Brothers Memory Maker app today. It's free from iTunes and Google Play, or find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Hey man. Yeah man, it's crunch time.
Is that footy speak?
Nah man, it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour with the salted caramel crunch.
Oh yeah, house-made warm salted caramel sauce and roasted almonds on 2 buttermilk pancakes topped with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah man, it's crunch time at the G and then it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour.
So this is footy speak then?
I'm just saying man.
My birthday present next week, and I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's east. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday, thanks to Crocs Play Centres. From 10 till 2 every Sunday morning, the EFL media team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all the seniors, reserves and under-19 matches. EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern. EFL mobile web app. Own a smartphone and love the EFL? Then the EFL mobile web app is a must for you. Go to f.efl.org.au to access fixtures, results and ladders for all EFL grades. You can also receive live around the ground scores every Saturday afternoon from the palm of your hand and contribute to the mighty EFL forum while you're online. Download the EFL mobile web app to go live and local for your footy. Right from the Inside Football Friday preview. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos. Best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. To go live and local for your footy, head to efl.org.au. The warm-up continues right here on EFL Saturday.
Welcome back to Pink's Reserve in Kilsyth. As you catch us off guard beautifully, Barry Cotts. Everyone just had to put down their beautifully made burger, thanks to the people here at the Kilsyth Football Club, and get on with the show. But more importantly, a massive game at hand, all thanks to the Pancake Parlour here on AFL Game Day. Nice close game in the reserves too. Kilsyth 8-9-57 leading the Glen Waverley Hawks 9-56, hoping for much of the same in the senior game as these two sides take on each other for the second time in the year. We might go through the last two games that we've got to tick off in our preview. Forest Hill taking on Surrey Park out at Forest Hill Reserve. Rosett, Pilcher, Rowe, Wallace, Cicluna, Laws, Whitty and Hills come in. Fair Tutu, Mahone, Hare, Wilson and Harris go out. Surrey Park name an unchanged lineup.
Oh, look, you have to go with Forest Hill here. It's probably an academic result here as to how much Forest Hill will prevail by. Top spot is still potentially up for grabs for the Zebras, so I think you have to go with Forest Hill on this occasion.
Yeah, this is very similar to what's going to happen out at Warrandyte and Don Bell, and Forest Hill will win that game too.
Yeah, Forest Hill in a canter.
Nunawading taking on Ferntree Gully out at Coonung Reserve. Ins and outs unavailable for the Titans, while Ferntree Gully bring in Sharp, Pearce, Kennedy, Leary, Evans and Cox. Out goes Curtis, LaRusso, Duke and Harrop.
Difficult game to pick here. Both sides probably don't have a heck of a lot to play for, given they're probably out of finals contention at this stage. I might go with Nunawading here. I think they've had a relatively disappointing last few weeks after a decent start to the season. I might go with them to see if they can regain their form.
Given Kilsyth's recent form, Ferntree Gully probably the most disappointing side, particularly in Division 4, but almost across the board at the moment.
I guess just with Park Orchards going up and Sylvan as well, and you just felt that Ferntree Gully had it in.
It's funny because the last loss they had was at Glen Waverley, in which they only lost by 2 goals in that one. But look, I think this is their opportunity, Kilsyth, to really show that if they really want a top 2 shot and really have a double chance, this is the game to do it, and almost end pretty much a top to almost secure that top 4 teams in there at the moment.
Yeah, the mindset changes when you're no longer the hunter, you're the hunted, and today Kilsyth is certainly that. Kilsyth, look, they, as you said, have a chance to go 9-0 in the last 9 and haven't beaten every other team in the division. So plenty of incentive there. I don't think they'd be thinking about that too much, though. I mean, this is 4th versus 5th. It's probably a little bit more of a consistency game for Kilsyth, for why I think they will win today. Yeah, look, they're a little bit one-dimensional up forward, but here's the thing. Glen Waverley are actually quite a good defensive side if you have a look at the scores that they've conceded as well. So this potentially brings them back to an even playing field. I think it's going to be a really close game. I really look forward to the Glen Waverley Hawks giving Kilsyth a shake, and I think it will be.
Hopefully, it's a tight one.
Yeah, look, I think it will be a 2-goal margin in favour of the Kilsyth side, but Glen Waverley have plenty to play for, if not more than Kilsyth.
We mentioned key forward Jay Sherlock, 47 goals for season 2015, going down to Adam Amin, who kicked 7 last week in the Hawks win. He has 30 for the year, and his teammate Jesse Dunn has 27. So definitely a potential with the conditions that we could possibly see a bit of a shootout.
Ooh, potentially, that's for sure. I haven't seen a lot of Kilsyth over recent years. Is Jay Sherlock the type of forward who is reminiscent of Tony Lockett in that he stays around that goal square region, or is he one that likes to lead up the field?
There's a lot more of the power forward, the Jonathan Brown, Matthew Richardson type. Probably, it's interesting because his role changed when he came from Upper Ferntree Gully to Kilsyth. At Upper Ferntree Gully, he was probably the second best of a 3-prong attack, which included guys like Matty Petrarca, and going back, he had
a more hardened football brand they're going to have to bring to the finals, and once they do, they could go the distance.
Who wins the battle of the midfields today, do you feel?
Tough one. I like the wings that Glen Waverley have. I used to play with Jackie Dunn and Joey Rickard. They've got some great run. They get lots of space. They're really good. They're really sure with their disposal. So I think on the wider regions, I sort of favour Glen Waverley, but probably more in and under. I think the hardened side, the more probably experienced side of Kilsyth probably reigns supreme there.
And I guess I know I emphasise a lot about Kilsyth, but now it's Glen Waverley. We mentioned about their 2 forwards in Anna Emin and also Jesse Dunn, but where they're going to get goals themselves, because they're a great defensive team, but they're in regards to offensive side of things, I think they're about somewhere in the bottom 5 teams in kicking goals or kicking a score.
Yeah, it's a good point you raised there, Will. I mean, I think it's more of a problem for Glenwaverley than Kilsyth in terms of the goal kicking department. They really do struggle to kick a big winning score. They're a young outfit. They're a hard running side. They've got energy to burn. I've actually likened it to what you've been saying. Do they have the firepower? At the moment, I don't think they do, and I think the president, before even conceded that it is something that they want to address, and they want to address as soon as possible. So, what they do to have as a party back, but as an example. But look, I don't think they do, Will, to answer the question. It's a problem that they've had to address already, and I think it's a problem that they're still going to have to address going forward.
Yeah.
100%. I'm sorry, just tuning out as I look at a few scores coming through. Effectively, the machinations of this game, Kilsyth 9-4 at the moment, sit on 36 points for the year. Glenwaverley Hawks 7-5-1. That draw coming
Hurts, that draw.
Against. This is the thing. Like Steve Potts said, it'll probably hurt us in the end. But my question would be, would they have taken 4 points from and the extra 2 points from Kilsyth, Coldstream anyway? And that's where you sort of tend to think, well, is it 2 points that they earned or 2 points that they gained, regardless of...
Yeah.
It's probably more they're looking at the Nutter-Wadding loss earlier on in the year. That's the one that's going to really affect them, because effectively they lose today, they go 10 points back. They win today, they go 2 points behind Kilsyth.
Yeah, it's the ultimate 8-point turnaround, isn't it? It's from a neutral perspective, I think we'd love to see Glenwaverley win today. No disrespect to Kilsyth, but in saying that...
Lynch mob are after you.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
I know. My name's Will Taylor, if anyone asked. But in saying that...
Right, driving Nissan Micra.
Oh, thank you.
Which won't have wheels when you leave.
Sorry, where I've lost my train of thought after that. Look, Glenwaverley, it's a bit of a... I don't know really where to go from here, actually. I've sort of lost my train of thought.
Just with the Glenwaverley Hawks, though, this is their 10th year in the competition.
Yep.
Do you feel that there's a sense of pride, I think, by the people that have been there for that whole duration, given that in the first few years they struggled to win a game? They were getting belted by in excess of 100, 150 points. I think they've come a long way.
49 straight losses.
It's like St Kilda back in the VFL days.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Look, I mean, last year would have probably been a little bit reminiscent of the early times, and it's probably something that they realised they probably had to go down and just sort of start again, and it's already paying off dividends for them. So, up until now they've had a great season, and even like win, lose or draw today, I still think they've had a great season regardless. So there's plenty to like about them moving forward. They've come a long way, and I think that's the main thing. And it's a side that I think everyone in the EFL wants to see do well. Look, I think they will going forward.
And it's funny because if Glenwaverley wins today, obviously they go 2 points behind. But I looked at their draw; they've got the easiest draw out of everyone in the top 4 above them, because after today they've got Ferntree Gully, Eastern Lions, Surrey Park, and Donvale. So they win today's game.
Those last two will probably be certainties. Yeah.
Correct. So look, they've got a real opportunity today to really prove that. To give Kilsyth a real worry going into the last 4 rounds of the season.
It's going to be one of those things that we know now that Glenwaverley Hawks and Kilsyth are both going to come.
Yeah.
And they're going to come pretty hard, because, I mean, Kilsyth have only got Forest Hill in round 16. Outside of that, they should probably win every other game. But having said that, Kilsyth have beaten every side in the competition. So there's this weird kind of form line that suggests that, based on the status quo of the ladder, that Kilsyth should lose to Forest Hill, but should beat every other side that they play, but have already beaten Forest Hill and will have beaten every other side in the competition, so probably shouldn't lose a game for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean,
form is form.
Form is form, and ladder position to ladder position. So I mean, we can take so much out of that, and usually that comes to fruition, but not always the case. I mean, we mentioned some of the teams, in the lower tiers of Division 4, Donvale's and Surrey Park. I'm sure they've got plenty to play for in terms of not finishing last. There'll be some motivation there. I don't think it's going to be that straightforward for a young side that Glenwaverley are. Sometimes young sides just don't bring their brand of football to the game, and it's not as easy as just saying they should win all 4. They should, but they won't necessarily. So.
Given they're a young side, there's always that potential danger of running out of legs as well coming into the back half of the year.
That's true. That's a very good point there, Damo. It's yeah, we see it at all levels of football, right from AFL down to local footy, I suppose, and beyond that. So the youngsters, they don't always have the tank. So it'll be a great test to see how Glenwaverley finish off these last 5 or so games of the season.
Before we wrap up here on the warm-up here on EFL Game Day and head back to the studio for a quick break, we might get a quick tip from the guys that I've got assembled here on the warm-up. Damo, who wins this afternoon and why?
Kilsyth by 10 points. I think they're just a little bit more superior in the forward half and also in the midfield. Yeah,
I think I agree. I think Kilsyth will win by about 3 goals.
Yeah, I was going to say about 16 points for Kilsyth. So I really like where both teams are going. I just think they'll be a little bit more match hardened, the Kilsyth side, and I think they'll just control it without without absolutely tearing the game apart.
And your tip, Dos?
Yeah.
Oh, put me under the pump. Look, I'm along the same vein. I'd love to see Glenwaverley Hawks get up just in terms of the ramifications it has on the division and seeing this last month of footy play out. But I just think Kilsyth will be, as you've said, just that much too good, which is probably 3 or 4 goals across the course of the afternoon. And I think for once, right across the year, I think we're all in agreement that Kilsyth by roughly 2 or 3 or 4 goals.
We have been proven wrong before.
Correct.
Yeah, once
it's amazing. It's amazing that we're agreeing.
I know there's a bit too much love here. We'll throw in a curly tip or something.
No, I've already done mine in Division 2.
You can tip Scoresby in this game if you like, Will.
True.
We might take a break. We'll head back to Barry Cotts, clear a few sponsor messages. We'll be right back after this on EFL Game Day. All thanks to the Pancake Parlour for Kilsyth taking on the Glenwaverley Hawks.
What was wrong with you blokes yesterday? You were playing like you'd been stuck in traffic for an hour before getting to the game.
Coach, there was a railway crossing gate down for ages.
Mob thrashed us. You ran out of legs.
They all have breeze tags, Coach. They use Eastlink. They get to focus on the match rather than focus on inching forward in the traffic.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
The inside of a cake can have many layers. On the outside, it's hidden behind a coat of icing. But when you cut out a slice, all is exposed. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, nothing is hidden. Our website and Memory Maker app make it clear for families to make informed decisions about planning a funeral for a loved one. That's an example of how Tobin Brothers Funerals is taking transparency to new levels. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Hey, man.
Yeah, man.
Can you smell it?
Smell what?
It's my favourite smell in the world.
Oh, footy season. Yeah, man, like you can smell the grass at the Mighty G.
Yeah, and you know what else I can smell? The hot marshmallow chocolate at Pancake Park.
They're like my favourite smells ever. Like first you head to the G and smell the grass, and then after you've chewed your guts out, head straight to Pancake Parlour and warm up with a delicious hot marshmallow chocolate.
Oh, it's made with pure Belgian chocolate, seriously decadent.
Oh, Pancake Parlour, open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
For comprehensive and check out our EFL TV portal. Don't miss The Agenda every week for all the latest news from right around the Eastern Football League. And you can get involved by voting for your favourite EFL Play of the Week. EFL TV, love it local 24/7 at EFL.